Welcome back to Abundance Thursdays with myself, Walter Murillo, and the great Vinney Smile Chopra. Vinney, why are you all bundled up today, brother?
Oh my gosh, it's 32 degrees, bro. Right here, 32 degrees in sunny California. It's pretty sunny over here. Look at the sun shining, but the temperature is 32 degrees. Holy cow. I got out from a morning walk in the miracle morning walk, and I said, no. I got to go back home, get me this jacket.
So
But
today
I'm glad
you
I
won't
did.
be stopping. You won't be stopping by one of the benches today. You're going to keep moving today.
I need to. I need to. Definitely. No, we'll have fun. We'll have so much fun today. Again, thank you so much for, catching me in St. George Island in Florida last week. And then week before, I had the pleasure to hug you and Darina, all the great people in Alchemist Nation. I mean, you had so many great people, millionaires, multimillionaires, and how many people who are trying to be millionaires, all that summit. Congratulations for you and Darina. Put a lot of hard work, a lot of money, a lot of effort. It went like crazy good, crazy good.
It was amazing. And I think a lot of it is due to you hanging out with the VIPs with us. Like everybody, when they saw you come into from the limo, like chilling with us in the VIP area, they're just like, no way. Like there's literally a guy who's building $1 billion company right now and multiple companies hanging out with us. And like I saw you pull some people aside, just giving like real live like advice and coaching. And it was just such a game changer. And then when you spoke on Friday, like so many people came up to me afterwards and said, man, like this really is possible. Like you really can build like wealth through syndication, through multifamily. Like this is really possible. And it's happening right now. And Vinny's actually doing it. And he started, this is the other thing about you, Vinny. You started at 54 years old. Like there's so many people who were in the room that were like, wow, like I have no excuse.
It's so interesting. A lot of time people say, it's not the right time. I'm not the right age. I'm not the right height. I don't have the right weight. I mean, we have so many excuses in life. We do. I mean, I do too. But the thing is, the people who are successful, they overcome. They mindset for victory. They mindset to believe in themselves. They mindset to learn, educate themselves, to be surrounded by the people who are bigger and better than they are. And that's what we talk about every Thursday morning. I'm so pleased, with the abundance mindset, with Walter and Vinney. And I hope people are really catching the fever, because what's happening in the marketplace right now, it's astonishing. If you don't open up your eyes right now, you're going to be sleeping for many years. I mean, I'm telling you, this is the best millionaire maker time coming in real estate, brother. I mean, with the interest rates where they are, we just got 0.75 up. Look at the market
Woo!
going down. Oh my gosh. And we used to buy, I bought at 7% interest rate thing. So it's not uncommon for me. But the thing is, you've got to find the right deals, and they will be coming. The seller's expectations will be going down because they have to adjust it, because the mortgage rates and all these, mortgage amounts will put the pressure on the cap rate, and the capitalization rate is going to go higher. That means the property will get cheaper.
This is a win for real estate investors like right now who are like, oh, I don't know if I should get in. Like, yes, so this is the time to learn. This is time to build your relationships. This is time to find deals and start renegotiating with old offers that you put in before, maybe coming back and saying, well, now I'm offering a little bit less, and seeing if those sellers will finally start taking those offers.
That's so true. I mean, I teach, right? Today's Thursday. So Wednesday, I teach 4 o'clock. I love it. For last 5 years, I've been doing it. I didn't realize that. I've been coaching 4 to 5:30. We used to do 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific. If anybody wants to, who is listening to us too, by the way, you could just come on over and just be our guest for a 1 week or 2 weeks of coaching, inner circle, mastermind, whatever. It's vinnyzoom.com. VINNEYS zoom.com. It's so easy. Just show up, we'll welcome you, and we'll get you to kind of, look into. But the key thing is, you got to be really in the market to get
Yes.
great deals. A lot of my students said, people, the brokers who are not talking to them few months back, they're calling them back. They're saying, hey, you were looking for that product or that property. As a matter of fact, we have some changes, in the expectations from the seller, and we would love to get your LOI. Before, they didn't want to get your LOI.
The game is changing, and that's a good segue to Wealth Principle 39, which you and I were talking about just before we jumped into this call, which is sell your business or product before you buy or create it. And now you've been an entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur for years, decades now, and you've done this like so many times. What are some of the reasons you go out and you talk about a deal or you talk about a business before you actually have the ownership of it, before you go and buy the product or build the product? What are some of the things that you've done that prove this principle are effective?
Excellent. Thank you, Walter. I really believe whenever we are designing a product or a course or some kind of thing, whatever that thing is, that business, there is a need. You got to fulfill the need. The customers will only come to you. Your revenues will only come if you solve a problem. And what is that problem? So we as entrepreneurs need to put a lot of effort into research, into understanding the market, into finding out what mousetrap am I building, or I'm going to put time and money into it, really, and that mousetrap, what mouse we going to trap?
It's true. And if we look at it from like the syndication model, right? Like you're raising capital, you're selling a property that hasn't even been developed yet. Like when we look at your residential assisted livings, right? Like you don't even own the ground in some cases, but you got the ground under agreement, and you're now presenting to somebody a building that doesn't exist, right? You're like, okay, like you're gonna invest in me on something that like it's just dirt right now. But you're like, what are some of the steps that you do to sell those projects?
I would love to. Again, to sell that project to my investors, to give me money, I need to be on the top of my game, to be truthful. What that means is I need to employ top professional consulting companies to capture rate, we call it, to determine the capture rate in that particular segment of the market or the city. How many seniors are living, first of all? How many more seniors will be coming? What's their net worth? What's their age group, demographics? See, all those things are so important, because from that study, we're going to find out, and also the competition. You got to look at how many senior assisted livings are there in the 20, 30, 40, 50-mile radius of that piece of land. How many hospitals are there? How many rehab centers are there? So it's a it's a very systematic way to build the blueprint. And then you also go to the building department of that area to find out how many more assisted senior livings are going to be built in the next 3 years or 4 years. So there is a big, like a checklist, I would say. And then we say, okay, alrighty, now we know there is going to be a demand of 1,500 units, let's say that, in the next 4 years. Because see, once you get the land, you got to change the ordinances. That takes about 6 to 9 months. Then the building permits. Then you got construction loan you have to get, from the bank or the lender, so 40, 60 LTV or 65 or 70% loan to construction LTC. But then the other part you have to look at is how long it's going to be before you build it. So now the senior assisted living will be built in the third year. So where is this market going in 3 years? Because when you get it ready for occupancy, you have to deal 3 years down the road. So these development projects are very tricky projects. They're very tricky. You got to really, cross the T's and dot the I's to make sure that you don't get, with your pants down. I should use that word, but it could be like that. some developments go berserk and they don't get finished because the market studies and all these, solving the problem which we started with, it's done front end, Now
Yeah.
we love ours because at 70% construction, we hire executive director and a leasing person when it's not even fully built yet. We start showing, doing advertising and everything, like in Punta Gorda, Florida. I'm so happy to say that 94 units total, and we had 62 seniors with deposits who were ready to walk in the door the day I open up. Hold on. Oh my gosh. 62 of them were ready to just come into our property. So
And the
that's
building
the
was
beauty.
was only 70% occupied. Was 70%
Yes.
finished. You weren't even finished
Yeah.
building the building. You still had
No,
30%
no.
left, and you started leasing these
Yes.
out.
You bet. That's our recipe. And I hope anybody listening to us, it's very, very important that we lease. We cannot open the doors and have zero occupancy. I mean, that's a disaster recipe. So we definitely want to make sure we get our leasing, our advertising, all those, and the dollars have to be planned in the earlier projections. It's going to be 300,000, 400, 500,000, whatever it's going to take for the salaries of these people. And then also the advertising dollars, so that when we hit the ground running, as soon as we get the CEO, certificate of occupancy, especially in senior living, there are lots of inspections. There are lots of different things, to be taken care of, which is okay. But the big thing is we've got to have people ready to be coming in, and then advertise it so that in 6 months you could be at 90%. That's where it is. Yeah.
That's magic. And you're selling something before you've built or created it.
Yes.
You're presenting the offer, you're getting all the capital in, because you have a salary to pay on day one. On day one, you've got to start employing all of these people. And so it's really important to know, all right, I've got 60% occupancy before I've even finished and opened the space. Fantastic example, Vinney, of building it, of selling it before you've built or created it. And now I know you this isn't just real estate, right? Like you do this in other spaces. You do this in other industries, other businesses. What was one of the first times that you actually sold something before you actually had the product?
Oh, wow. What did I sell before I had the product? Well, I've been in multifamily, as you know, for the last 14 years. And always I have done raising money with specific deals. And I have not been in developments until just like last 3-4 years. But before, I used to look at the deal and then look at, okay, as an investor, what will I like to look at, right? I mean, if I want to put 100,000 in it, ourselves as entrepreneurs need to be the customers first.
Truth.
Any product you're building, you got to put yourself in the shoes of the buyers and the customers and say, what will I be looking at if I were to invest my hard-earned money, $100,000 or $50,000? What are some of the things I'll look at? I'll look at the market. I would look at the neighborhood, like in real estate, right? I'll look at the trends of the population, demographics. I'll look at, okay, what's the competition around this apartment complex or something, right? And then I'll look at the job market. I'll look at, okay, why Vinney is thinking to buy this deal. And then not only at this time, when we close in 90 days or so, what are the prospects of amenities you're going to add to it to increase the rents? I mean, let's just boil down to it. Hold on. Hey, income is rent increase and other incomes. When we say other incomes in real estate, it's the RUBS, the ratio utilities bill back system. What that means is if the seller is not charging for water, trash, gas, electricity, and electricity is usually paid by residents anyway, but rest of the things, termite, all that, So you got to add those incomes in your projections to
I love that.
increase the revenues. And then, of course, how can you decrease the expenses? It's a very, very simple game in business. It's revenues coming in, brother, and expenses going out.
Increase the revenues coming in, decrease the revenues going out.
And that increases the NOI, net
Yep.
operating income. Of course, that does not take into account mortgage, interest and principal pay down, and the capex, which is the capital, big items that we need to pay money for. It's called capex, capital improvements, we call it, but in real estate. But the big thing is, with interest rate going higher and higher and higher now, touching 7% or even 7.5%, our mortgage interest is going to eat up a lot of the profits.
Yep.
See, because from the NOI, we deduct that. And now we have less money to take to the bank or give to investors and so on. That's why it's so important that we are in the game to find great deals that made sense in the 2010 and 11 and 12 and 13, in my case and a lot of other people's case. But let's talk about, other incomes also come by providing more amenities, maybe doing valet trash, maybe doing covered parking. So we find the ways to be able to give to the residents more amenities than they will be willing to pay more in rent.
I love it, Vinney. And I want to clarify for everybody, like, Vinney does not own the building when he is raising capital. He's just got it under contract. He does not own the property. He's asking for money before he owns the property, and he's able to pitch that idea based on all of these stats that he's looking at. He's saying, okay, this is where it is right now, and I'm going to reposition the property. I'm going to increase rents. I'm going to decrease expense. I'm going to add some extra revenue streams by covered parking, or giving people parking spaces, selling the parking spaces, or reducing the expense of the utilities by putting that onto the tenant. Like, all of these different strategies are how he's able to pitch to an investor before ever owning or ever doing any of this work. He's able to say, look, this is what I'm going to go do. And investors will invest their money because they know Vinney's he's done it before. So he's got experience. He knows how to do this. He's proven it in the past. And because they know there's a good return on investment, he's increasing the NOI, which then increases the value of the property. Everything that on a real estate investment and multifamily is based on the actual NOI, which is what Vinney's just sharing with us. So if you're not familiar with net operating income, then you might want to join one of Vinney's mentorship courses, or even the Vinney's Zoom.com, and you can learn a lot more about like what Vinney's doing to mentor and build millionaires. Because we are on a mission to build 100 millionaires who inspire to build 100 millionaires. And as Vinney says to me all the time, he says, let's do 1 million. Let's build 1 million millionaires.
Yes. We can make a big difference in the lives of everybody we touch. I really believe that. And to be very truthful, Walter, the biggest thing is, if people are listening to us or watching us, it's all in the mindset. 90% of the battle is the mindset. And that's why we do this show every Thursday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific, because we need to not only just get the knowledge or learn, but also adjust our mindset for victory. Our mindset will make us be more successful. If our mind is not right, if we are not really feeling great about that we can accomplish it. I always say that, everything happens twice. Stephen Covey talks about it, right? One time in the mind and second time physically. Yes, because the mind sends all the signals to be excited and motivated and doing the learnings and everything, and then applying those strategies, to be able to do those. No, you're so right. And the valuation of any commercial property, of course, residential property is based on other comparable homes. Let's say that, right? Square footage, amenities and all that. But in the commercial income producing properties, we call it, most, that is based on NOI and the cap rate, capitalization rate. So cap rate is, it's based on the neighborhood. It's based on the year of the built of the property and so forth. So if you divide that NOI with the cap rate, capitalization rate, you get the valuation. And of course, with the market going where it is now, cap rates are going to go higher and higher and higher. So you divide NOI by higher cap rate, the value of the property will go lower, 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 lower. So that's the best time to buy. Yeah.
I love it. Like this is a time to learn, right? This is a time to learn how to do this. This is a time to be building your networks, be building your relationships with realtors who have deals, with investors who have capital, with business owners who are too busy to invest in real estate themselves. So becoming the operator that's able to serve both the deal and the investor. Vinney, you're definitely teaching this at the right time. And I think that anybody who's listening is like, oh my God, real estate, this is not a good time to invest. They're wrong. Like they're absolutely wrong. This is the time to be learning. This is time to be building relationships. And it's the time to be looking for those deals and knowing how to evaluate them. Like Vinney just said, cap rates are going to be going up as interest rates go up. And if you don't understand, cap rates going up is good. With the higher the cap, we want to buy at a 10 cap. We want to sell at a 6 cap, right? And Vinney, I've heard some of your deals. It looks like you're buying at 13 caps, at 14 caps. You're buying at these really great cap rates that everybody says is impossible because they're looking in the wrong markets, and they're not looking at properties that actually cash flow the way you're looking at these deals.
Yeah, I don't know why, Walter. Looks like I lost the connection somehow. I was going up the hill, but then I lost the connection. I'm going down now, just to make sure that I can hear you.
So the further you go down into the valley, the better the service gets, right?
Can you hear me okay?
I hear you okay, brother. Wow. Yep, you're back.
I don't know. I cannot hear you anymore, but that's okay. I think we had a very, very good show, hopefully. And can you believe it? It's totally, maybe it's this thing here. Let me see if I'm going to take it speaker. Yeah. Yep. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Perfect. We're back in the game.
We are back. Good.
Yeah, and Vinney, I was just saying, like you recently you were buying the strategy is buy at a 10 cap, sell at a 6 cap. This is what I learned a long time ago from like Dave Lindahl and a lot of the professionals in the multifamily space. But you've been buying at better than a 10 cap. You've been buying at 12 caps, 13 caps, 14 caps, 15 caps, and people say that you can't find deals that are better than a 5-6 cap. It's just you're looking in the wrong market, and you've got to build deeper relationships with these realtors.
So true, Walter. See, the thing is, people want overnight success, and it doesn't happen. It does not happen that way. You've got to build the relationship with the brokers so that they open up to you. A lot of times, brokers send crud, literally crud, to size you up. They give you the worst deals that nobody wants to buy. They will send it to you, and then they are looking for a response. They are looking for, hey, let me see what Vinney is going to tell me about this deal. I gave him crud. Does he know what he's talking about? Right? So you got to analyze and then, let them know, hey, this deal doesn't make sense. I mean, I did the underwriting, and you got to get back to the brokers within 48 hours. 48 hours. No, don't wait for a week or 2, 3 weeks. It's going to be out of their mind. I always tell everybody that the squeakiest wheel gets the grease. The squeakiest wheel gets the grease. You will not offend them. Broker's job is to sell. Their job is to sell the property quicker and then get the seller to give them another listing and another listing and another listing. The big thing is you got to get back to the broker right away and tell them why it does not make sense what they are doing. Why? Yeah, it's so difficult for people to understand that brokers will talk to you more and more and more if you are giving them reasons to, and they will give you better deals next time and better deals next time and better deals next time, and then also prove to them that you have the money raised. See, that's the other part. Brokers want to know, and sellers too, proof of fund and this and that. But the big thing is they need to see your confidence and say, hey, I can close on this deal.
100%. It's all about being able to show proof of concept, proof, like giving them confidence, giving them the belief that you can close, and having an LOI, having a proof of funds, having
Yes.
investors, investor letters just saying, yes, we're ready to invest. That goes a long way. And that comes from relationships. There's no getting around it.
You're so right. So right. I mean, if anything people can get out of today, of course, you want to solve the problem when you're building a business or any kind of product, everything, you got to see the avatar. Who are these people who are going to be attracted to me to buy my product? Could be property, could be anything, could be course, could be, whatever, right? Business. But the other part is you got to see how you're going to get there, how long it's going to take, and what will be the competition. Many times, we shoot in the dark quite a lot. I think we also don't analyze things properly. That's why I don't know what percentage is, so many businesses fail, because people just have an idea and they say, let me go for it, let me build it. And now they build it and then they cannot sell it. Right.
It's the
but
worst.
but this real estate market is changing big time, and now is the time to get in there and then look at what you can afford. If it's a 4-plex, 8-plex, 12-plex, or 16 units, I say. Or I just have a very good friends of mine, they found assisted senior living in Salt Lake area. Right on there, they just started doing personal coaching with me just recently. In 1 week, they have found this beautiful place. Oh my gosh, 50 units for only 5 million. I cannot even build it for that price, brother. I cannot even build it. Amazing. Anyway, so we are doing analysis and everything, and I might go in a partnership with them, because they need experience and all that stuff. But the key thing is, opportunities are there. If you look at them and be wide awake, opportunities will be at your door, and you got to just open the door.
Truth. Vinney Smile Chopra just gave you the strategy for success in this market. You've got to open the door. You've got to build the relationships and be learning how to invest in multifamilies. This is the market. This is the investment strategy that will work. It is recession proof as long as you buy it right. And right now, with interest rates rising, this is the time to learn how to buy right. Build your relationships with brokers, build your relationships with passive investors who want to put their money into capital. If you want to learn more and you can want to see Vinney actually mentoring, he does it every Wednesday. Go to vinnyzoom.com and check it out yourself, see how he is. And now his mentorship does cost money, but look, everything costs money. You're going to spend the money anyway. Might as well spend it on something that's going to move you forward. Cheers to your success. When you have a choice, always work with the best. We'll see you next week.
See you next week, guys. See you Thursday.